everyone. Short intro once again, but I still need Yapper content to showcase the IVs and EVs for this team. This video is a Mega Golurk showcase with the Trick Room. This entire team took me 5 hours to make and an additional 1 hour and a half to get all my clips that I want to showcase. As usual, comment below what improvements I should make so that both you and I become better players, especially with my walking Roria Conquest PvP. Most importantly, this video idea came from Riley. Shout out to you, bro. You're the go as usual. And they commented this from a post I made asking what Pokemon I should showcase. So look out for stuff like that, because I'll steal your ideas and I would love it. You know the drill. We start with the losses, get a snack, relax, and enjoy the video.
master. Blessed saint. An honest death is like a blessing. Let death come once and for all. Plenteous blood is lost.
Let's begin with my first loss. Looking at this player's team, I don't have to worry about earthquakes, so Torkoal Sweep is very imminent, but I had plenty of poor gameplay. I always led with Hatterene here, it's my only lead. It's very tanky, and I just set up Trick Room and swap out. It's consistent every time like that. Throughout this entire match, I was doing pretty well, but I started throwing towards the end. I forgot Grassy Glide from Rillaboom was a priority move. Yeah. When I started sending out all my weak ground type Pokemon, well, not exactly weak, but not bulky ground types, so Ursaluna and Golurk, I was just getting destroyed. And I had no Trick Room up, so that led me to lose the game. A takeaway from this match is Hatterene living a Z move. That's pretty cool. And aside from that, the loss was just my major weakness to Rillaboom, and that was the primary threat for that team on that team that player used. Moving on to a rematch against a player in my previous video. This player, just like my previous video, had Mega Malamar, but this team had Mega Halucha instead, though I am assuming this. Match was going well for me, but it was definitely in my favor in the start, but a couple of wrong reads and that flipped the switch instantly. This is specifically when it was Ursaluna versus Aegislash. Aegislash has King Shield, which also decreases physical attack, which is not good considering Ursa is a physical attacker. Before switching to Ursa, there was another possible play. I could have wanted to Torkoal then Flamethrower for a kill, or at least threatened, or I could have stayed in with Ursa, Swords Dance first, protecting the King Shield, which maybe is exactly what the player I played against last time did, to scout for moves. I just suck, I guess, until sacrificing Ursa. Then Torkoal started sweeping a bit. It was in vain at the end. Primarina swept me with Calm Mind, and it has an advantage over me due to my major water and grass weakness. And I lost because I couldn't set up Trick Room 2. These are my two highlight losses, and it will take account for my final thoughts about this team, so stick around if you're still watching this game review. Moving on to my wins. For my first win, this Togekiss was mad annoying. It has the ability Super Luck or whatever. It increases like the effects of moves to land in a higher percentage, I guess, or they let it to land more. So the 30% flinch off of Air Slash was like 50. It killed Hatterene this way, which sucked until Cresselia pulled through. I switched into Golurk, Stone Edged it. I didn't have to worry about flinch chain anymore. When Glasgow entered, I shouldn't have stayed in. I could have preserved Golurk. This is because Cresselia has Levitate, and because the Golurk was only running Swords Dance EQ, I could have just bypassed it every single time. And aside from that, this win was pretty good, and it showcases what the team does as a whole. Moving on to my next win. This particular fight was very close, and the player I fought had Aurora Veil, which is very annoying to work around. But the moment I knocked out Ninetales, the game became winnable. A highlight of this match was reading the Encore from Ninetales when I healed with Cresselia. Got me a free switch in, so that was pretty cool. Closer to the end, it got scary. I should have Swords Dance when Gyarados switched in, then Thunder Punched because my opponent switched into Gyarados just to intimidate the Iron Hands. But since I didn't do that, I legit only won the game because I managed to get paralysis on Ceruledge. I did have Torkoal already once I killed Ceruledge if Iron Hands died with turn 1 Solar Beam kill on Gyarados, but I'm glad I won because it could have ended way differently. Anyways, that's it for my wins. Moving on to my final thoughts. This team is very fun, and there are not a lot of changes to make with this team. My first actual change I would probably do is swap out Hatterene for Porygon 2, holding an Eviolite. Having 2 Pokemon weak to Ghost just suck, and Cresselia is another very defensive Pokemon. Porygon 2 is also a trick setter like Hatterene, just with extra bulk instead of damage output, which isn't really needed. Porygon 2 has much better util anyway. And for example, you could run a set of Trick Room, Toxic, or Thunder Wave, teleport to swap out for mobility, and recover Miracle or Foul Play on Porygon 2, which is absolutely amazing. The best part about that is you just get a Ghost type immunity. That's all I would really do with this team, with the intention to have Mega Golurk in there. But that's literally it. There's not much changes. Again, comment down below if there are any other changes I should do, if I should rework this team or not. But aside from that, this team was very fun to use, and if you care about fun rather than winning, I would use this team. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.